You know what, y'all? Somewhere in the world, Darren the Lion from the Derek program back in the day, you know, he's somewhere looking at this and he's sitting there sad, unemployed, and mad disappointed. We all let that nigga down. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're gonna talk about the brand new album that just fucking dropped from one of the three main niggas that whenever they drop shit, the whole world shuts down and everybody pays attention to that nigga because apparently they're the greatest of all goddamn time. Arguably, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying some niggas be doing that because I mean, they need to get themselves a little bit more well-rounded in the game, but it's all good. I respect it. But he's back. He dropped an album out of nowhere like he always be doing, and you know he had to talk about the shit, so we gonna do that. This nigga's back. He drops some new shit. Drugs are bad, depending on what you take. I mean, they're all bad. I mean, the weed's okay, but everything else, past that shit, don't do that shit. It's fuck you up all day, every goddamn day. Talking about the new album from J. Cole entitled KOD, which means Kids on Drugs, or King Overdose, or Kill Our Demons. Whatever the fuck you want. It's pretty much all three. KOD is what it be. Now, for those who don't know, J. Cole is a rapper out of North Carolina who's been doing this thing for many, many years. Signed to Rock Nation, got his own thing called Dreamville. He's been doing this thing for the past few years. First artist to go platinum with no features, and ever since he did that shit, he was like, fuck features, nigga. I'm doing this shit solo dolo for the rest of my goddamn life, nigga. Like, okay, Cole, you get all the paper. You ain't sharing no bars and no songs whatsoever. And now he's back with a new album. It's the follow-up to his 2016 album, I believe, For Your Eyes Only, which I thought was a cool album. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was kind of boring at times. It was mad, but it did have some solid songs on there, and I did enjoy the concept, but I thought it could have been done a little bit better. But overall, it was an okay album for what it was. But now he's back with this new joint, and I'm really hoping that this album leaves more of an impression on me than the last album, because I'm not a super big Cole fan, y'all, but I do respect what he does, and I do think he's mad talented. So I just want to get an album from him that I really, really enjoy and end up actually loving. So now let's see if J. Cole KOD is an album that's just as dope as the dope he's referencing, or if sometimes you need to go to rehab and get that shit cleaned out your system because it ain't doing nothing fucking you up all day like this album is. Maybe we gonna see. Let's talk about the shit. Now, when I first popped in this album and I tuned into the production, which is pretty much all done by Cole minus a few other producers like T Minus, Childish Major, and Mark Pelly, but mostly Cole does the production on here, which is really dope. He really does go with a more of a sort of bangerish, trappish style with his beats, but he also has this very melodic, sort of like eerie, dreary sound to it as well. Sort of a drug feeling in a way with these beats. They're very wavy, they're very, very just kind of like darkish, and really nothing really too bright on this album, but at the same time, it does have a little bit of energy and bounce to it, which really can cater to the sound that's going on right now. And J. Cole really does a good job kind of balancing it out with that upbeat tempo, with that sort of dreary, you know, kind of sort of lousy, drowsy type vibe with it, and it kind of meshes together very, very well. And the beats on here, even though all of them aren't really that amazing to me, there are some on here that I really do think are really, really dope and I really did enjoy, and they really did fit that vibe and that tone of what J. Cole was talking about as far as subject matter wise. So the beats on here I think are cool. Some are a lot better than others, some were a little forgettable, but others I thought really stood out because they were just dope and they really just fit the vibe and the style that J. Cole was going with this subject matter. And when it comes to Cole himself, first of all, no, he ain't got no fucking features. I told you, he said fuck features for life, nigga. He's a lifer for the solo dolo shit. But he did squeeze in like a feature, which is himself. That's called, what is it called? King, wait, what? Kill Edward. Like, don't you just not put nothing? Why you trying to trick us, Cole, like you trying to get features and shit? Nigga, we know that's you, shit, nigga. But it's just, that's it. It's him all day, every day. But Cole is on this album talking about a lot of different subjects. He tackles things like addiction, whether it be drug addiction or addiction to money or women or anything like that, both personally, and it's also things that he just sees in the world, as well as I'm talking about things like mental illness and mental health, which is a big thing right now. I mean, it's been going on, but it seems like more recently it's being talked about more and more in hip hop, which I think is really cool. And I just think he's just really tackling a lot of things that are going on with him inside personally, but also things that he feels that needs to be addressed on a more worldwide or a more broader standpoint. And that's pretty much the key focus on this, and which is why you have the three different titles of KOD, which is Kids on Drugs, referencing how young kids these days are on all these prescription drugs and the Molly and the Xans and all the Percocets, all that shit. They're all on this shit and they're young as fuck, looking like they're fucking 45 years old, all crazy and shit. And then you also got King Overdose, which talks about himself and the things that he goes through and how he overdoses on certain things that he enjoys but he knows is bad for him. And then also Kill Our Demons, which is pretty much him coming through that and just seeing things in a better light and a more positive light for himself and everything around him. So it's good that he's tackling all three of those subjects in the album and doing it in a very cool way. But but I do think that this album really doesn't do anything new or fresh because these subject matters have been talked about and referenced more recently by other artists. So Cole's kind of late to the party with this, but he's just giving his own take to it, which I can appreciate. And when it comes to the songs on the album itself really isn't that long. It's 12 tracks long, only about 11 songs in total with an intro. And I think Cole really just tackles these issues throughout each song in different ways, shapes, and forms. And some of them come off a lot better than others. Some songs kind of come off boring or bland, whether that be the production is just a little bit too low key or just meh, or just the fact that Cole is just pretty much rehashing the same type of flow and style. He's really not kind of switching it up that much. He's switching up as far as subject matter and lyricism, which is all on point. But as far as how the songs go from one to the next, they really do sound sort of similar and the same throughout the entire album. There really isn't things that really kind of differentiate or go off the path that much, which just kind of makes it seem like a little bit of a redundant sounding project overall. But there are some shining moments on here that I really do like. Now, you know I gotta give you my top 5 tracks, y'all, and this wasn't that hard to find top 5, y'all, because I said there were some songs here that I just were like mad on, and there were others that I really, really like. So my top 5 here are KOD, Photograph, ATM, Brackets, and 1985. So let me go back up to the top. So KOD is the first song on the album. It's pretty much the set off of the whole project, and it's a really good energy. It's got this really just like quirky beat to it with these hard-hitting drums, and Cole is just giving that proper just intro to the album. He's coming with some rapid-fire double-time flow at times. He's really doing this really animated style with him, and I really enjoy. The beat on there is kind of bouncy, and it really is something that you can hear in the club, on the radio, which I've already heard on the radio, but also it still has that subject matter where he's referencing the KOD theme and everything about it, which I think is dope. So it's a good start off for the album. I love the energy of it. It made me feel like, okay, this album has a little bit more oomph to it. This isn't like the last album where it's kind of just like meh throughout the way. This one right here starts off with a nice little kick. I can appreciate that. It's dope. Check it out because it's hot. The next song, Photograph, is right after KOD, and this one kind of slows down the tempo a bit, but it does have that still hard-hitting kind of sort of trappish flair a little bit in the background. But I do like the subject matter on this one, and I like how Cole is pretty much talking about how he's in love with these girls on IG through their photograph. Like, he doesn't even know them, but just by seeing them, he's in love. I mean, I be seeing some chicks on IG sometimes, too. I'm like, yo, she fine. Yo, I marry her. I don't know her name, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, sometimes you be getting them feelings, though, but he's talking about sometimes he got to shoot his shot, and it be bricking. I mean, just because he J. Cole don't mean that every girl gonna bite. I mean, he look like he homeless 90% of the time. Some chicks don't want that no matter who you is. I mean, I'm just saying, Cole, maybe you need to clean it up a little bit. Maybe you wouldn't brick so much. I'm just saying, like, but shooting your shot, you gotta do that. But it's a dope song. I love the subject matter, and it's him just being more personal and open and talking about just one of his addictions, which he's addicted to women, and just, you know, the fact that he's addicted to his phone and IG and seeing these girls, and he just shoots his shot. And if somebody, hey, and sometimes if it goes in, he goes in. If you know what I mean. I'm gonna stop, but it's a dope song. Check it out because it's fire. The next song, ATM, is probably my second favorite song on this album. I just love the vibe and just the uniqueness of this song. First of all, I love J. Cole singing on here. It's like eerie, just like singing, "Will I fly? Oh, will I fly?" That's terrible. But I'm just saying, it's dope. And then I love the beat on here. I love the little money counter going in the background. And I just love the subject matter of the song itself, which is talking about the love of money, which is the root of all evil. And Cole pretty much talking about his addiction to making money and just having big bills and big money in his bank account. M's all day, but pretty much also talking about the drawbacks of having that, because you got people who are greedy and want to take your money and just, you know, have you spending on all this crazy shit, and you realize that it doesn't also last forever. You got to keep making it, because once it goes away, you end up with some depressive state and shit. I mean, I don't know nothing about that because I've been broke all my life, but yo, Cole, if you want to slap me a few M's so I can experience that pain that you're experiencing or have experienced, that's cool. I wouldn't mind it, but yo, the song is fire though. The beat is crazy. I love the way that it kind of breaks down and picks up. It's got this wavy atmospheric tone to it as well. And the music video that Cole shot for this, which just came out a few days ago, is fucking crazy. It reminds me of like an old school Busta Rhymes or a Missy Elliott video, and it's just a really dope video, and I think it complements the song very, very well. So check out that video too, because it's fire, but the song itself is dope as fuck. Love this joint. Second favorite on the album. Gotta check it out. The next song is Brackets, which also talks about money, and I like this song a lot too. The beat was really low-key and like kind of just chill, and it really didn't stand out to me, but what I really liked about this song is the subject matter and just pretty much what Cole is talking about. Pretty much he's talking about he makes so much money, he's got tons of money, so now he's in a different tax bracket, and he's talking about how taxes and the bullshit that you gotta go through and the money you gotta pay to IRS and Uncle Sam. Like I said, I don't know nothing about that, Cole, not yet. I mean, so slide it over my way. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know what I think about it. But he's talking about just all the things that goes in with making millions and millions of dollars and the shit that you got to deal with. And also the fact that he's like, yo, I'm giving the IRS and Uncle Sam all this money from my money that I earned, but I don't know where it's really going. You say it's going to this and that, but I'm not seeing nothing. So let me decide where my money goes. And he came up with a dope idea in this song where he's like, yo, I should be able to pick where my fucking tax money goes on like an app and like say, okay, I want my money to go to this or I want my money to go to that, and be able to really choose where your tax dollars are going, which I think is a great idea. I hope they do something like that because that's really awesome. But at the end of the song is what I really like, because he's just saying like, yo, his tax dollars goes to corporations that like make guns that end up being back in the hood, which ends up killing our own people. And he talks about how this mom's son ends up getting killed by gun violence, and while she's on her way to the funeral, she remembers that she's got to do her taxes. So it's like this full circle scenario that J. Cole paints, and it's really, really dope. But it also makes you think of like, yo, you spend all this time working your ass off, making something of yourself, then you give your money away, and it really doesn't go to a good cause. It goes to corrupt individuals who want to push their agenda, and at the end of the day, it only comes back to fuck you up, and you still got to pay their ass at the end of the day. It's fucked up, y'all, but like I said, I don't know, because I'm broke, nigga. I'm still getting money back, so I'm good right now, but I'm just saying, I feel you, J. Cole, partially. But it's a dope song. Definitely check it out. Especially if you're rich, you will understand that shit. But if you're broke, you can just think about it. But either way, it's dope. It sounds good. And the last song on the album is my favorite song on the album, and it is the closer. It's called 1985, Intro to the Fall Off. And this song is just dope. Now, like, I'm partial to this song, y'all, because it gave me some real throwback old school 90s vibes to it. J. Cole really just encapsulated that, both with the production and his flow. It's dope. But what I really like about this song is they say it's a response to Lil Pump, because Lil Pump said some shit about J. Cole. I think he made a song called Fuck J. Cole. And instead of J. Cole directly responding to that, he pretty much made a song which is pretty much schooling these younger rappers and telling them, yo, this is what's gonna happen if you keep on this path, and this is where you should be going if you want to sustain yourself in this rap game. He's pretty much saying like, yeah, you hot right now, you're doing all this crazy shit, you know, you're making these crazy songs and the kids love it, but eventually those fans who are kids are gonna grow up out of that shit, and if you don't grow with them and mature as an artist and really stake your claim in this game, you're gonna be another MC or another rapper who just fell off and nobody's gonna remember. But J. Cole saying like, you can diss me all you want, but I'm gonna be here forever because my position's solidified, I'm talented, I've been making albums and music that people are gonna be listening to for years and years, and I'm at a spot right now where I'm at the top tier. So that's what Cole's saying. That's a great way to end the album. I love how it ended, and it's clearly, I played that shit like 4 or 5 times back to back, because I was like, yeah, Cole, tell these niggas, because I can't yet, because I ain't there yet, so you do it for me. And that's my top 5, y'all, and overall, I gotta say that this is a pretty good album from J. Cole. I did enjoy it a lot more than his last album, but this album still didn't wow me, and it really didn't make me feel like this is an amazing project that J. Cole gave us. It's just a really dope album with some really good songs. There were some songs on here that I did not enjoy that much, or that I thought were just cool. Like, you know, you got songs like, you know, The Cutoff was and Motivate and Kevin's Heart and Window Pane. They were just cool to me. They didn't really stick out that much to me. I really can't remember too much from them tracks, but the ones that I did name in my top 5, I did really enjoy. And I will say that I do like Cole's energy on here. I like his subject matter, even though it's nothing really brand new. I just like his take on it. And overall, it is a very solid album with a few songs that I will go back and listen to, but it isn't going to be like my album of the year candidate. It might make it in the, you know, the honorable mentions, but I mean, I won't go back to the whole album and think it's amazing. But Cole did a good job, so I will give him that. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that J. Cole KOD is an overall very solid album with some really good songs and some dope subject matter, even though some of the songs here are just like mad to me. Overall, he did a decent job and better than his last album. All I'm saying is that beats on here are pretty good overall. Cole did a good job on the production. Some beats on here were kind of forgettable, or I don't even really remember that much. They all kind of have the same vibe and style, but some did stand out and some just didn't that much. As far as Cole himself, he came through with some really good lyrics, some really good subject matter, and overall he put together some really solid songs. Just some stuck out a lot more than others. It's just a really solid album that I will go back and listen to here and there, but I wasn't wowed or amazed by. So all I gotta say is that for me, J. Cole KOD is not Granddad approved, but I will give it a very highly Granddad recommended. So go check it out. It's out right now. J. Cole fans, I know y'all love this shit. Like I said, I'm not a super big J. Cole fan, but I do respect what he does. I do think he's mad talented. And like I said, I do like this album a lot more than For Your Eyes Only. So I will be listening to a lot of tracks on here, especially the top 5. And I don't think that's an album that's going to stand next to the other albums this year that came out that I absolutely love, but it is good for what it is. So I respect Cole for dropping some shit and still maintaining his position in the game, because that's what he's supposed to fucking do. But I got nothing more to say. J. Cole KOD is very highly Granddad recommended. So go check out the shit right fucking now. Flip it. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of J. Cole, KOD, if you've heard it. If you have not heard it, like I said, it's a very solid album. Not amazing, but better than his last album to me. Some good songs, but some were forgettable. But it is what it is. J. Cole fans are going to love this shit. J. Cole non-fans who respect him are just going to be like me. Most likely what it is, but that's what it is. Previous video was on the sides was my latest single. Check that out, showing some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen, button below. Woolly Reviews twice a week, as well as Let's Talk About the Shit. Check out all the other videos. The Granddad's Top 30. Check out my Patreon. You know, the GoFundMe. All that shit. Check it down there. Show me some goddamn love. And I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddad, J. Cole, KOD, that's a dope album. But kids, don't do dope. Look at the kids on here. Look what this little girl is snorting coke, and this boy is drinking lean, and this kid is smoking weed and doing pills, and they all turn into skulls. And this is a sad ass cover. Cole, what the? Don't do drugs. I'm out of here.